Friends and all the academicians here, my greetings on this occasion. Very impressive the way that you have put so many people together in such a short time. My sincere gratitude to you. Education is one sphere where the growth comes by discussion. In a company setup, in a business setup, people will say, don't talk, do work. This is exact opposite. Here, talking is working. So, because the knowledge grows only by discussion, by new thoughts that emerge. So, what you are doing, what you have done, bringing more than 275 papers is what I was seeing, is a phenomenal amount of work. I congratulate you and your entire team in this great effort. And this conference is organized by two universities coming together, University of Hyderabad and Manu. That augurs very well because when NEP talked about, it is actually having at the back of its mind a collaborative mindset, Not as much a competing mindset as a collaborative mindset. Because this is one area where we realize that the growth of the knowledge will come only by collaborative research. I mean, we are seeing how the research that is done by a single individual and the research done by a group of individuals working together across continents, definitely across institutions, the value of it is a lot more because there is a hybrid of ideas, there is cross-fertilization, and that really sort of leads to growth of new knowledge. So it's good that both the universities have come together and done this work. And but having said that, I have a bit of a discomfort with events as a whole, because the problem is that the event has got a starting point and end point. So whereas the reform process has no end point, it has to keep on going. You have to keep looking at it where you are going wrong. You have to bring the feedback and then keep on improving. So I really hope that this particular event, this particular seminar that you have organized will actually result in snowballing of ideas. See, that is very, very important. The people who come here, if they have taken that I would like to see as a result of this workshop. So friends, you have debated a lot. A lot of people have written, discussed, presented papers, 13 parallel sessions on various topics. Friends, NEP has actually really looked at, having been one of the persons who involved in bringing out this document, that I just wanted to share with you some of the thought process that has gone in designing NEP. So NEP, when we really started sitting down, Kasturirangan's report came, and it was a huge document of 450 pages. It was a seminal work. It was a huge work. And then we told Professor Kasturirangan, no, I mean, what do I do with this 450? Nobody will read this sort of a book. So he says, no, this is all our collective thinking. Do what you want. So it was lying with the ministry. Then we realized that the essence of it have to be brought in an easily comprehensible, easily readable, easily actionable document. So the 60 pages that you see of NEP 2020 has come through a distilling of the wisdom that has actually gone through this 450 pages Kasturirangan report. So today we have with us the 60 pages. I'm sure all of you have certainly read it, because if you have written about it, you would have read it. Friends, NEP really looked at a transformation. It is not simply a growth process. It really looked at transforming a system. Transforming what? For a long time, for almost 6 decades, we simply inherited a colonial mindset where education, especially education, is only a passport for getting a job. And that particular process actually has led to simply learning things, and then writing examinations, getting good marks. The entire concept of a critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, they are never found in our system. In fact, our system, right from the classes, from your school, if somebody asks questions, a lot of questions in the class, the teacher will say, "Ye to bahut problematic child." And it will be a talk in the room. अरे वो बच्चा जो है इतना बदमाश है, बहुत क्वेश्चंस पूछता है. So next teacher will say, "तुम उठो, पीछे जाओ." That has been, when a teacher does something like this, it is not considered as a very objectionable behavior. It is considered as a normal behavior because in classroom you are supposed to be well behaved, listen to what the teacher says, learn what is taught, and acha marks aana hai. Bas. This is the mantra which has guided the education system for more than 6 decades. And as a result, look at what happened after this continuation of the colonial mindset. You have very few people who, if you actually scratch the surface, you have very, very little thinking process that goes into the knowledge generation. When I was Secretary of Education, we used to get lots of delegations from other countries. So all of them used to say, India is such a big country, so many, 40,000, 50,000 institutions, more than 3 crores at the time, 3.5 crore students. But then your students are not creative enough. Your innovations are not adequate. They are not according to the numbers that are there in your institutions. When we just went back, looked at the numbers, nothing more stark, nothing more stares at your face. That India and China having started same time, both of us were in 1940s, we were both at the same time. Suddenly there is a huge jump in terms of the number of innovations in the Chinese universities. It has gone up by 1,000%. So whereas India just went through a very, very normal growth, and as a result, the gap has widened. And today, China is having the highest number of patents anywhere in the world, and we are somewhere struggling 4th, 5th. So friends, the NEP's thinking process was primarily to bring a transformation from a rote learning to a critical thinking based learning, from knowledge absorption to knowledge generation. See, knowledge absorption is very good for school. Okay, you take the knowledge, but the higher education, that is not possible. You have to generate new knowledge. Friends, we have seen that a few revolutions have actually changed the world economy. I will not go to all of them, but I would say that the latest revolution which has actually changed prior to artificial intelligence was the entire thing of innovation. Can we innovate new things? Can we make things better? Can we make processes easier? Can we make products which are more useful for the people? So this innovation has swept across many countries, and those countries which have actually looked at this, used the knowledge, created new things, they suddenly hit a huge jump in terms of the economic growth. So we caught up a bit late, post 1915s, when the entire innovation ecosystem started. So there has been a huge amount of change. I mean, now we are talking about 13,000 institutions, HEIs across the country, where there is an institution innovation councils, including Manu, where the people come together, they debate on problems, look at, can we solve this problem? So that augurs well. So friends, the NEP therefore wanted to bring a transformation, but since NEP has come, actually the first draft was ready in 2019, it came out as 2020. So since the last 5 years, suddenly things have changed. New things have come, which we have not anticipated when the NEP was being prepared. One, of course, is very obvious. the way that the epidemic gets stuck and closed down the whole world. And one of the worst sufferers has been the education system. There has been a very sharp and appreciable drop in the learning outcomes across the country in the schools and universities. पूछो मत, because इसमें तो कोई measurement भी नहीं है whether learning outcomes हुआ कि नहीं हुआ कि उसका there is no measurement at all. But school where there is a measurement, we found very rapid fall. So we never looked at that sort of a scenario. Second thing that has happened is the advent of artificial intelligence, and today you have debated on that. Friends, AI has hit especially the education system like we never expected before. Today, easy use of the AI tools, the student is having the answer before working out the problem. Any problem within a fraction of a second, it in his on his mobile, in his laptop, on his computer. But he just doesn't know how to reach that particular problem. How to solve the problem, he doesn't know, but he knows the answer. So, friends, this is the advent of AI is a huge challenge. It's a great opportunity, but it is a huge challenge, especially for education. Because I am worrying, I am seeing across campus in the country, schools, I see that the cognitive processes are taking a huge hit. What is a cognitive process? Your ability to envision, your ability to analyze problems, your ability to find solutions, your ability to create, your ability to communicate. These cognitive processes, friends, is actually taking a huge toll. And today, I request every teacher who has been in this seminar to see how you can actually face up this challenge. To face up this challenge, it will be too late to save the cognitive abilities of the students. They will simply come out as dependent entities who, for everything, they are checking ChatGPT. They know nothing. They just check ChatGPT and reel out answers. In the Center for Research in Schemes and Policies, we train lots of youngsters, young professionals. So we get a best of students applying for it. We put them through a rigorous testing process before we award our fellowship. So this time, we always give a essay questions, very tough essay questions, complex essay questions. I've got fantastic answers. Then in the interview, the shortlisted persons, we have asked, your essay was very good. Can you just tell us how did you get this? Sir, which essay? You written an essay just 2 weeks back. Sir, I wrote it. I said, if you don't remember what you have written, how did you write? Sir, there is one AI tool called Cluey.ai. I don't know if you all seen it. It just hangs around on your laptop, on your screen. It is just hanging around. Nobody can see, only you can see. And whatever it is listening. Cluey is listening. And if you say anything stupid, it will tell you, don't say this, say this. लिखा रहता है, बस पढ़ ले रहा, हो गया आंसर. इतना आसान है. We are going to face this situation in classrooms, schools, universities a lot more. So the students say that, whenever the teacher is speaking, giving a lecture, they are checking whether the teacher is saying right or wrong. You say anything wrong, he is going to laugh at you or just walk out coolly out of the class. Already higher education institutions are facing empty classrooms. मानो तो अलग है, थोड़ा सा अच्छा अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन है. बच्चे सब थोड़ा सा डिसिप्लिन्ड है. जाके दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में कोई ही नहीं, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में ऐसी सो मेनी कॉलेजेस सब खाली है. बच्चे कहां पर है? लॉन पे बैठे और कैंटीन पी रहे. Why? They think that they know everything because they have the chat GPT with them. Actually, they don't know anything. So how do we make the classrooms functional again? How do you get these students back into the classroom? Friends, that is a big challenge for the teacher. It's a challenge for your pedagogy. How you are going to organize the classes. No more will this be valid that the teacher comes and speaks in the class and the students passively listen. In this pedagogy, then we are failing. We are failing comprehensively. So it is a challenge to the teachers. The advent of AI, therefore, is a challenge to the teachers as to use this tool. You can't ignore it. You can't say that, अच्छा कोई AI tools नहीं देखेंगे. देखेंगे, बिल्कुल देखेंगे. क्यों नहीं देखेंगे? You can't stop. So the challenge for you is to how you are going to use these tools, build it into your academic delivery. Can you do that? You will have to debate on this. I don't know. But I know the solution will be there if all of you sit down and think about it. How do you assess the student? You know, for almost 3 decades, the entire education system depended on giving assignments. Assignments de do, pad ke aao, likh ke aao, then you are assessing. Today you can't give any no, you cannot give. Unless you want to read the AI generated content. So your assessment system has to change. How is it going to change? Do we have adequate amount of class hours to test the student one-to-one? I don't know. Can we design a different assessment tools? We need to think about it. The challenge is right in your front yard. You have to take up this challenge if the teaching in the institutions has to survive. I'm not saying that AI is all destructive. AI has got tremendous amount of scope to improve the learning process. The entire PAL, you heard of this PAL? The entire PAL is based on AI, artificial. What is PAL? In a PAL, what it does is that the artificial intelligence is trying to assess your standard. If you want to learn integration, by few steps it will check whether you know the basics or not. If you do not know the basics, it is going to throw up matter which is required for you to learn first. Then it will graduate you towards integration, learning integration. It's a fantastic instrument. Without compromising our own nature as a teacher. This is what is required to be debated, friends. I'm sure once we put our minds to it, we can find answers. But I want to caution you that you have no time left. The way artificial intelligence is spreading is amazing. I don't know if some of you have read this book. Singularity is Near. The book is named Singularity is Near. The distinction between a machine and a human being is going to diminish. And it will become one. The machine and the human intelligence will become one in such a way that the intelligence is no longer biological. Intelligence is no longer biological. Please, if you get your hands to it, please read Singularity is Near. He has predicted that by 2045, there's nothing like a human intelligence. Because every intelligence is machine-made, machine-controlled, machine-run. And you are just becoming one part of it. So friends, we have this sort of challenges before us. And I will be very happy if this conference debates on this and then come out with solutions. We have a huge ambition. It's not to have an ambition. Our ambition is to become a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. It is a great ambition to have. And India has got all the potential in terms of the IQ to run. In fact, I keep seeing people from across the world. Indian intellect is probably one of the best anywhere in the world. We need to tap this and then create new things. So 4 cognitive abilities, friends. I'll end with this. 4 cognitive abilities have to be promoted in the classrooms, whether it is school or in the college. The first one is your critical thinking. I already said a lot about it. Second one is creativity. It is not sufficient if you critical think kar diya, so you have actually come out with some solution, but that solution has to be creative. It has to be useful, right? So it has to be creative. Then it will be of any use. Third thing is that communication. Lots of our students, best brains, you ask them to come and speak on the dais or explain something to them, they cannot explain because they know it, but they cannot explain. That's a deficiency in cognitive ability. Fourth one, friends, very important, is collaboration. Every Indian is great intellect on his own. You put 3 people together, they're always fighting. They say, no, you tum jo bola jo galat hai. Bring him down. Collaboration, friends, is the only thing which can. Have you ever seen any football game where, of course, Messi, okay, if he is there, everybody cannot be Messi. There has to be a collective effort. Even Messi requires collaboration. So these 4 cognitive abilities are to be drilled into our academic system, which means that first we have to, as teachers, and then we have to think how to bring this into your pedagogy, and then you will see the result. I really hope that will be a new beginning, at least in some people. I can't expect everybody to be a transformed individuals, but at least if 10% of the people go back transformed, I'm sure we are seeing a beginning of a new. Thank you.